This may be the most important story we have here. Southwest has given free extra seats to obese people.
I identify as obese.
What is more important than this? Think about it. What is more important than this? And I'm going to come to you, Emily, so be ready. We want your breakdown of this. Southwest Airlines is under scrutiny for its customer of size policy, which allows overweight passengers to request an additional seat for free or book extra seats in advance with a subsequent refund. This policy has drawn praise from some TikTok influencers and the body positivity community. Critics argue that this policy is unfair to passengers who can comfortably fit into one seat and represents a compromise driven by woke activism over customers' overall interests. They suggest that overweight passengers should be required to purchase 2 seats if they cannot fit into one, rather than receiving an extra seat. What a dumb idea. But go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
I've said this on Gutfeld before, because this is not the first time obesity is being worshipped and idolized in the United States. In any other country would be looked at gross, because it is. But it just makes me regret ever dieting in my life, because if I was obese and hideous, I would have way more brand deals. I'd probably have a fat wallet right now. I'd get free seats apparently on Southwest. And my question is, why are we lying to ourselves that something like obesity should be glorified? And when you said TikTok influencers, like the light bulb went off in my head, like, all right, that's why it's being normalized, because of these freaking idiots on TikTok. And it goes way beyond obesity. It's like, we're trying to normalize things that they're not normalized for a reason. You know, being fat's not healthy. Fat in your body is likely going to cause cancer to produce its cells in your body, because it's not healthy. Exercise is good for you. Eating healthy is good for you. Glorifying obesity, which I see all the time on TikTok, is not like a new trend that we should be setting. And then secondly, they're trying to do this for, I'm going to assume, like, equality and stop like fat shaming, whatever, fine, body positivity. But here's what I've been trying to say loudly. If you want true equality, this goes to whether you're a Jew, a Christian, Muslim, an atheist, black, white, yellow, purple, fat, skinny, doesn't matter. You want equality, stop pointing out the differences. You know, you don't need Pride Month. You don't need your own seat on a plane for free. You don't need to highlight the differences if you want true equality.
You don't
Just
think that's sexy?
act normal. Ew, I'm sorry. Like, by the way, she's a beautiful woman. Imagine if she was thin.
Healthy,
not thin. Healthy.
They'll never let her go thin,
by the way,
because it ruins their entire agenda.
This story just came out. Do you understand how much that's going to backfire? That means really obese people are going to start going on Southwest. Can you imagine the nightmare if you're on that plane and they're in the exit row? They're not going to be able to help if shit hits the fan. They're going to be
Hey, that's so insensitive.
But it's true. They asked you, like, can you perform emergency duties?
By the way, you know when you're on Southwest Airlines and you're just on your flight and you ask the most important question, the most important question you got to ask is this a full flight? They say no. When they say no, if you're with another person, there's strategy that you can pull. Somebody sits window, somebody sits aisle. And people come in and you say, hey, somebody spilled coffee here. They put coffee here. They said no one sit here. Oh, I don't want to sit there. And they go away. And then you try different things, okay? Yeah. You know, one person can say, this guy smells. There's so many different strategies you can take. But when it's a full flight, and you're Tom, we've been on these, where we're sitting there and you're just looking at a person coming, you're like,
oh, God.
I'm begging you. No. And then they say, hi.
Hey.
Oh, my God. How are you?
I rarely travel on Southwest, but I pick people out of the lineup. Yep. And you know, I usually try to get on.
Hey, you guys want to team up together? Let's just sit together. Everybody.
Yeah.
No, can you imagine?
No, I get on and I try to sit as far forward as I can.
Do cardio.
And so, you know, I make sure that I, you know, get.
Wait, can I point out my Southwest story? I've never flown in my life. I had a really weird transfer from Florida to D.C. And
you've never flown in your life?
No, Southwest.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm a big Delta fan. So anyway, when I get to the plane, I'm like boarding and I'm like, this flight looks really full. So I go and I didn't get my seat assignment yet. So I ask for it and they go, oh, you're not guaranteed a seat on the plane. And I'm just like, but I was billed $480 for this ticket. Like, so where's my seat? And they're like, oh, buying a ticket doesn't guarantee you a seat.
Yeah, I've heard that
But
before.
what does that mean? So what did I just buy? I bought like a raffle that maybe I get on the plane.
Yeah.
No, I'm confused. Nobody experienced that before on Southwest.
I have something. I've had that happen before.
Wait, what do you mean?
I literally bought a ticket, and they're like, buying a ticket doesn't guarantee you a seat on the plane. I swear.
This is
It's happened
Southwest.
This was Southwest. It was Miami to DC.
100%. I've heard that happen before.
The biggest problem that I have with this
It's going to result in bumping.
Southwest
Tom again.
sucks.
You got to bump somebody. If someone says, I'm too big,
Yeah, but listen,
over.
Let me say something. The biggest problem I have with this is it's that the antithesis of what America should be founded on, which should be a meritocracy. The better you do, the more you read, the more you learn, the more you try, the more you stay in shape, the better the reward mechanism should be. The problem with this victim culture right now is they're rewarding the people that shouldn't be rewarded. And we have to use language to coddle them to make them feel like, so that now they're not fat or obese, they're customers of size.
No,
Of what size?
Yeah.
I have a size 2. It's just a size
Exactly.
2 or 4, not
I
8.
love it.
The reality is you should be paying double. Your fat ass is sitting in 2 seats, pay double. But now you want to give them 2 free seats? What? It's like, remember when the people were like, now we're going to be doing people who have horrible credit scores and have been late on their bills, we're going to give them a better mortgage price than the people who actually have good credit scores that have been paying all their bills on time. It's backwards. It's illogical. No wonder people are like,
Where do I
what
sign
the
up for
fuck is
that?
going-"
Yeah. By the way, when I sit next to someone and they're like obese,
Yeah.
I tell them off the jump because I'm like, listen, if your shoulder blubber and your tricep is laying, I'm taking a nap on you. I tell them. I'm like, I'm going to use you. What, Rob, were you going to say something?
Well, as the only, I would say, out of shape person in the room.
Rob,
But you're still,
sexy,
but wait,
though.
you're
Rob,
still
come
sexy.
on, Rob.
Rob, but you sell it
Don't do
sexy,
this.
I don't
right?
think you qualify for 2 seats, though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but I
definitely
can
not.
tell you this.
you had a
what-
great ass, though. Go ahead.
I've started working out, eating healthy again, and part of the reason was because I took a flight and I was uncomfortable in the one seat, and I went, "This is not a fun way to live, feeling uncomfortable all the time."
No, instead you're going to get a brand deal.
Exactly.
It's better than mine.
It ends up making people, it incentivizes bad behavior because it doesn't give you any effort to try and change your physical being. Instead of getting an extra seat, my route
Rob, is
was
your mic on?
yeah.
I hear him.
You hear him? I hear him, but I'll keep going.
My route
spitting
was to
bars.
start eating healthy, to start working out. What's the incentive if they're just going to continue to cater for obese
Seriously.
people and make it easier and more accommodating for them? There's no reason for them to try and change their bad habits and try and lose weight and be healthy.
I would talk
for you, Rob.
Hell
You know what?
Rob.
This vault's on you, bro.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.